Okay, everyone, welcome to the pre-event FIA press conference here at our brand new event in Chile. We're going to start with our support categories. We don't have all our drivers as yet, but we do have, representing WRC2 Pro, Mads Osberg, and representing WRC2 itself, we have Jorge Martinez. Welcome to you both. Mads, we're going to start with you in WRC2 Pro, brand new event here in Chile. There's been a lot of talk about it over the past few months. First impressions of what you've seen so far out on the stages?
Yeah, the stages are really nice, to be honest. It's a really positive surprise to see so many nice stages. Obviously, Ricky was quite difficult, and to discover roads in the fog is never easy, but watching the videos after the recce and seeing our pace notes, it looks amazing, and the surface is nice. So I think for sure it will be a very enjoyable weekend. Hopefully a lot of big smiles and just having a crack.
Now, we've heard this rally compared to so many other events. Wales Rally GB, Australia, a bit of Portugal, a bit of Australia. What would you say? What does it compare the most to?
Yeah, I think what you're saying, I think today on Shakedown I felt completely in Wales. So even the surface and the development of the road was very, very similar to what we see in Wales. But we do see a lot of Australia, we do see a little bit of Finland as well, a little bit of Sardinia, so it's a mix of everything. But generally I think we can just start to call it Chile, and it's just a mix of the whole of Europe.
You talked about the low cloud, the fog, especially you had that during the recce, you had that today. What other characteristics are going to make it tough out there? Some drivers have mentioned the blind crests being quite predominant here.
Yeah, I think so. To be honest, from a pace note side, I can compare it to another European event, and it's actually the Algarve Portugal Rally. You had a lot of up and down on this rally, and it's the same here. You go so much up and down, and you're never really flat, so it means a lot of blind crests and not too many trees to follow. So very often you should pass over a top and you have no reference, so you're driving blind on your pace notes, and when you make those pace notes in fog, it's extra interesting. So it's a big challenge to have precise pace notes here.
A lot of us didn't know what to expect coming here, certainly from the stages. Now that you've seen them, are you pleasantly surprised? Is it going to be a good challenge out there, driving-wise?
Yeah, I think so. I think it should be a very enjoyable weekend. I think also local knowledge is quite a key on this event, which means that hopefully we will have some local drivers which can do really well and fight in the top, and that's always enjoyable to see. So we have already seen on Shakedown and also on the Monday test, and even in Argentina, some drivers from Chile doing really well. So I'm sure it will be a huge fight and a lot of local smiles, and that's what we hope for.
Well, let's find out if there'll be a lot of local smiles. Jorge, it's great to have you here, and to have a WRC event in your home country of Chile. What does that feel like?
Yeah, I'm really happy. For me, it's a very special event. I'm from here. I'm from Concepcion, so I'm very, very happy and excited to be here, and it's my first event on the WRC. So I'm very happy, and I will try to be as fast as I can.
We've already seen you quick out there at Shakedown this morning, but the local knowledge that you have then of the stages here is going to be an advantage for you, yes?
Yeah, for sure. We know a little bit about the roads. They are very tricky, very technical, so obviously I think that we have a little of advantage in that.
Now we see a lot of strong drivers within the WRC2 class, within WRC2 Pro as well. What are you hoping you can do? Because it's very much at home. I'm sure you want to be the fastest through this weekend.
Yeah, I really don't know. As I said, it's my first event on the WRC. I really don't know where I am. There are lots of very experienced rally drivers. So it's a big challenge for us. And as I said, we are going to try to be as fast as we can, but we really don't know where we are.
What would you say, if we were looking across every day of the rally and all of the stages, what is the toughest stage out there? What offers the biggest challenge and why?
Oof, it's a very good question. I think that Puma, it's a very long stage and has a lot of up and down. It's very technical. The co-driver is going to be very important there. On Saturday, I think that Maria Las Cruces, also a very tough and fast stage. And on Sunday, there's a lot of fast stages, and I think that everything is going to be quite difficult.
Has anybody been asking you for advice? Seeing as you have all the local knowledge, has Mads been knocking on your door for a bit of advice? Will you, Mads? Yeah.
Not really, not really.
I think they might now, now that they know you have all the local knowledge. Are there any questions? We have Marco Balasca now. Marco, if you'd like to join us. Marco in WRC2 Pro this weekend. If you'd just like to go at the back, Marco. Now let's have a little chat with you then. In Argentina, a couple of weeks ago, we saw brilliant pace from you, Marco, but we also saw quite a big accident as well. I think everyone around the world has seen that. How are you feeling after that, confidence-wise, coming here?
Our confidence is not so bad for this rally. We think that we can do the same pace as Argentina because it was not exactly my mistake on the crash of Argentina, so we are easy and trying to know this new rally and take some good results.
Talk to me about your impression of the stages here then. What have you thought so far?
They have all slow parts, fast part, jumps. It's a very tricky and difficult rally.
And what's the objective for you here within WRC2 Pro this weekend, Marco?
Maintain the pace of Argentina.
Yeah, because it was a fantastic pace that we saw from you there. And obviously, before that accident happened, which, as you mentioned, it wasn't your fault. It was like that weird compression in the road which flipped you up. How is the car? Because it looked in a mess.
There is another car.
Good.
We rent another because the car is destroyed.
Completely destroyed, yeah.
Yeah.
So new car ready for the event now. I was just been talking to Jorge about which stage he would pick out as being the toughest this weekend. He's mentioned the second stage tomorrow, the Puma stage. Would you say the same?
Yeah, because the longest one, but all the stages are very similar of difficulty. So the Puma is the hardest because it is the longest one.
Okay. Are there any questions for our drivers? No? Guys, thank you very much. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Representing the Citroën Total World Rally team, we have our 6-time World Rally champion, Sébastien Ogier. Representing Hyundai Shell Mobis World Rally team, we have Andreas Mikkelsen. Representing Toyota Gazoo Rally team, we have Jari-Matti Latvala. And representing M Sport Ford, we have Teemu Suunanen. Welcome to you all, guys, and welcome to a brand new event on the championship calendar. Seb, let's start with you. Rally Chile, we've been talking about it now for a few months, the expectation of what we would find here. I think we've gone through so many different countries this rally could be like over the past few days with the drivers. What are your first impressions when you saw the stages and the country itself?
Yeah, I think the first impression is that we are not disappointed. We've been told that it will be beautiful roads and a very nice rally, and from what we've seen in the Ricky, it's exactly looking like this. Very smooth road with a very nice flow and some very fast section. And yeah, I will not start to compare that with other rally because every rally have its own DNA and characteristics, so it's no point to really compare. But for sure, I think we are all looking forward to start this event, and it should be very pleasant to drive.
It's always a tough challenge coming to a brand new event. We don't do it that often on the championship calendar where absolutely everything is fresh. Corsica a few weeks ago, 75% new, but this is all brand new, so a tough job on the notes.
Yeah, completely. It was challenging 2 days of free key, especially the weather made it a bit harder even at some point with the fog. But I like this kind of challenge. I think then we are all on the same point, and we all have to do our best during these 2 days. And now the answer are going to come during the rally to see if we have done a good job. But yeah, I think once again I repeated, the profile is really nice, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think we're all looking forward to seeing what you guys can do out there. But talk to me about the feeling you had on shakedown this morning with the car, because in Argentina a few weeks ago, you took great points away from the event, which is good for your championship, but you weren't entirely happy with the way the car was feeling. It's a short space of time between now and then. Has anything been done? Are there any changes made that make you feel happier?
Yeah, well, in Argentina we definitely made the best of it. With the speed we had to score 20 points was a really good weekend at the end. But for sure we tried to make actually some quite big change on the car. Okay, the characteristic is anyway very different, but I have a very different car here in terms of setup compared to the previous rally, and I think the first impression is good. On shakedown I had a really good feeling, and the speed was quite okay. So let's hope that we can carry on like this in the weekend and then fight on the top.
Big change with what exactly, and what kind of direction? Are we talking suspension?
It's basically on chassis setup, and of course then it's linked to suspension as well, because anyway, you know, the parts are more or less the same. They were linked from one rally to another, so you cannot change differential on shell, but the chassis setup is quite different, and the feeling was much better to drive the car this morning, and I was happy to see that the time were also good. So yeah, let's see tomorrow how we can start this event, but yeah, I'm confident we can be faster than in Argentina.
Good, that's good to hear, Seb. Thank you very much. Andreas, let's talk to you now then. A great result for you in Argentina just 2 weeks ago. Consistency of pace throughout the whole event and back on the podium where we like to see you. Can you bring that pace here though? Was it a good feeling this morning at Shakedown?
Yeah, I really hope I can bring the momentum now from Argentina into here. Coming here, discovering the roads was really, really nice. Some profiles that I really, really enjoy, especially Saturday and Sunday. Friday is quite tricky, but it will be a very important day as well. But the feeling this morning on Shakedown was very good. First run was a bit tricky. I did some setup changes to the car. And after that, we were really on the pace. And the stage also got faster and faster, dried up in the end. So we got a little bit of different conditions. So I think we should be ready for a good and exciting rally.
You mentioned Friday is tricky. In what way tricky? What characteristic makes it tricky?
I think as well with the weather predictions, I think Friday will be the most slippery day, maybe the first pass. But also the profile of roads, a lot of up and downs, a lot of crests. Your notes has to be very precise. And as well, when we made the notes, it was very foggy, so it was quite difficult. But you don't really want to have a bad Friday and be early on the road on Saturday. Then your rally is screwed. So you really need to focus on Friday.
As we talked about with Seb, it's all brand new notes here, and I think Julian Ingrassia mentioned this morning that it's taken 12 hours to rewrite absolutely every single note. Same for most of the co-drivers. So what I want to know, Andreas, is are you on hand with cups of coffee for Anders when he's doing all this work?
Yeah, luckily he doesn't like coffee so much, so I don't need to do that luckily. But yeah, it's a big job. I can't understand how they can ride, because these stages are also quite shaky when we're driving. So to ride in a stage like that is not easy. So I'm sure they have a lot of work to do.
They certainly do. So do you guys as well. Thank you, Andreas. Jari-Matti, you are the most experienced WRC driver we have here with what? This is 201 now we go into. So you are the key person with your descriptive talents to tell us what this rally is like. From your perspective, how would you describe Rally Chile?
If we start about Friday reminds me, I think the first stage reminds me from Portugal. Then you go to the second stage, you feel like you're in New Zealand, with a lot of New Zealand. And the third stage is a bit of mixture of New Zealand and Wales. Saturday is quite a lot Wales Rally GB on dry conditions. Plus, in addition to that, I would say some open stages from Australia and a little bit of Kildare Forest from Yorkshire. So this is what we have, and then on Sunday we have a little bit of Mexico, a little bit of Finland, a little bit of Wales. So
Sweden?
Sweden! Did you just say Sweden?
No, we didn't see yet. So a lot of you can take from different countries, but nature is beautiful here.
Yeah, a real drivers' rally. Then it's going to be enjoyable for you guys out there this weekend.
I think everybody will like these roads. They are flowing roads. They are not rough. They are hard pace. It's going to be like event where you can only focus on the driving. You don't need to think about the car and the impacts or something like that. You know, in Argentina was also endurance and a bit of surviving, but here it's more pure rallying.
You talked to me yesterday about a certain characteristic which we actually see in Portugal in the Algarve region, the blind crests, which you discover on this rally, to which you've put in quite, well, marked notes when you come to the blind crests.
Yeah, I think Andreas was already talking about these blind crests, which are tricky, especially on Sunday, actually. Sunday stages have quite nasty ones. You know, you come for up and you don't see anything on the sky, and then suddenly the road turns. The problem is just where to find the braking point is very difficult on these kind of places. So that's why I said I had to even mark a couple of places with the new note saying danger, which I don't use normally. So I've got 2 of those now in my pace notes.
Talk to me about the season so far, because we've seen pace from you, Jari-Matti, but we haven't seen the results coming in. The podiums have been missing this year. Why is that, and what can you do to change it?
Basically, the performance of the car is there, the speed is there. It's been me. I mean, when you have been long time in the championship, if you have a bad start in the first couple of rallies, because you hope when you start the new season, your hopes are high. And then I have been facing difficult seasons. And then if the first couple of rallies didn't go according to the plan, then the motivation dropped, and it was myself. I was driving really, really bad in Corsica, and also a little bit in Mexico. So after Corsica, I realized that something needs to be done. I mean, we can't keep going like this. So just make a bit more thinking, and then try to come back in Argentina for the performance, and we got it. So I'm really happy with that. So it's only myself. It's in your head, you know. It's when you are young and you are hungry. If you have 1-2 bad rallies, no problem. You know, you go out there and you try to win again. But when you drive a lot, then and you'll be many seasons, you know, having a couple of bad rallies, you know already for the championship, because at the end of the day, the target is to win the championship. This is what you want. And when you see the hopes that they, you know, start to go away, it's a bit more difficult to motivate yourself. But I learned a new lesson, and I think we can keep going now strong.
Good. We hope so, Jari-Matti. Thank you. Teemu, we saw brilliant result from you in Corsica just before we went to Argentina, and then it kind of changed when we got there. It wasn't quite the pace you had in Corsica, and you seemed a little bit frustrated with that in Argentina. What about here, though? Level playing field, no one's been here before, you're discovering it for the first time. Can we see more pace here?
Yeah, hopefully we can see really good pace. At least the profile is really different from Argentina, and I enjoy to drive a lot on these stages, and these are like quite technical, but still on the fast side. So hopefully this road fits well for me.
Talk to me about the recce and putting the notes together. Do you feel it was successful for you out there? I know you can't really say until you go through the stages, but did it go well out there?
Yeah, I felt it went well, but the conditions were really difficult with all the fog, because in some places we could see only 20 meters, so it was difficult to see even the corners. So I think in the end, in the rally, we are going to see if the notes were okay or not. But we just need to agree the weather and try to do our best job.
Now you've stayed out here between events. You've moved from Argentina over to Chile. Have you enjoyed the experience?
Yeah, actually that was like first holiday for me for a long time. So I was able to get some nice time, do some training, and still focus to rally. And I felt it was like better option than travel 5 days back and forth to like Finland and then back.
Your Spanish is fluent now then, yeah?
Not really.
No, not really. No, mine either.
That's only.
Are there any questions for our drivers at all?
Si quieren hacer preguntas en español, también se las puedo traducir.
Okay, don't worry. Welcome to everyone. I want to know which are, for all the drivers, which are your expectations for this rally, for this rally here in Chile?
It's quite an open question, but I mean the expectation for me is pretty simple. When I start an event, my expectation are to win it. I mean, I go for it, and that's the plan. But other than that, I just expect a rally with a lot of people coming to support us. Where when we are in South America, we know that there's a lot of passion in there, and I'm looking forward to try to give them a good show.
For me, I expect this rally to be a good rally for us, coming from Argentina, where we had a good result. Build on that and fight for another podium, and yeah, who knows, maybe take it one more step. But we have to take it in baby steps. The feeling is good, so we'll build on that. And if I get a podium from here, I will be happy with that.
Basically, I think the target is the same with the other guys. You know, of course, the target is to get to the top, get as many points as possible to be able to fight for the victory. That is the goal. And but I think if I think about if you mean the expectation as Chile itself, the rally, what I've seen so far is, I mean, people have been very, I mean, excited. Many drivers were already asking me, the local drivers, you know, what I think about the Chile, how it's feeling. So what I say is the nature is looking really nice. It's very clean here, and you can see that the new buildings coming up. And so overall, it's been very positive expectation, and I think this will be a good rally.
And Tamer?
Yeah, I expect that this rally is going to be a really nice show for the spectators, and I believe on Friday all the drivers wants to really push and maybe take some risks, because need to get really good starting position for the next days, because there is a lot of loose gravel. So it's going to be nice to follow the drivers and like to see them to be on the limits.
Okay, guys.
Okay. Hello, guys. First of all, welcome to Chile. We are Radio Bio Bio, the first national audience and official media partner of this competition. We don't know if any one of you had the opportunity to meet any Chilean driver, and if you did, what's your opinion about the Chilean rally level and this competition?
Sorry, I had the chance to meet Pedro Ella and his brother, which is racing Ford, and we were kind of teammate last year when I was in the Ford team, and I think, I mean, being in WRC2 is the best way to try to show your potential and to progress, and I think they have achieved some good results already, but we all know how hard is the way to make it to the top, so hard to say what is purely their level, but I've seen that they're trying hard at least.
Yeah, I didn't meet any drivers, but I understood that there is a lot of R5 cars in the championship and a lot of passion for rally here, so that's great. But more knowledge than that, I don't have.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of Chilean drivers at the beginning of the shakedown, and they were basically what they told me is that here in Chile, it's I mean the rally. What I can feel is that the rally has been growing a lot, because there's also guys coming from Argentina, co-drivers from Argentina coming here to compete, and they say that the rallies are like 50 cars, but 20 of them is R5s. So it looks like the rally is really lifting up here in Chile, which is very positive factor.
Yeah, the Hellers brothers are like teammates for me. So last week we spent some time together and had some barbecue, and they were showing some places. So I know a bit them. And actually, I think they won in Argentina, so the level is like quite okay. But of course, there is like some work to do still to get like World Championships or these kind of things.
Welcome to everyone. Right now, manufacturers are pushing very hard for getting a new technology, hybrid engines. What do you think from the driver point of view? Do you agree with this change or not?
Who wants to start that one?
I won't be part of this live, so you can ask the others. I won't be there when the hybrid will be there. But for sure it's important. I think it's late, and we are late, and the championship need it, I'm convinced.
Yeah, I hope I will be there. No, but no, I think it's very important to get something new technology, to get new manufacturers to come in and make it interesting. For sure, I think we have when you look at motorsport, I think our motorsport is probably the most spectacular, and where manufacturers can test their vehicles in the ultimate terrain, on snow, on ice, on gravel, on mud, everywhere. But yeah, we need some new technology. So I think that it's great, but yeah, it needs to happen sooner rather than later.
If Sepp said he is not going to be there, I'm not sure about myself. I haven't decided yet. It's here and there about my age when it starts to be also on the limit. So maybe it would be 1 year for the hybrids. Would be nice to see. But the factor is that what you can see where the world is going, and we have more and more green things, and we need to reduce emissions. So I think the right action is good, but how to make it? It's going to be challenging. It's not easy in a rally sport, but I think it's eventually we need to still, in rally sport, we can't go full electric because, you know, rally is about the sound. You need the sound. We need the engines, and which is petrol engine still. But together with that hybrid system, I think it will be a good solution. But we just wait and see what happens. I think it can be a good idea.
And Jari-Matti, you're not old. You talk as if you're 60 years of age sometimes. Teemu, your thoughts on it, please?
Yeah, I still hope to be there when the hybrid cars comes, but I would say more worried about how it comes, because the rally have to change a bit. Like if they plan to use the electronic engine on the road sections, because, for example, in GP, when we have like 3 hours road sections, for sure there's no batteries which we can like use. But then the second thing is also the safety, that how big batteries we can have maybe with the fuel. Because like on the track side there is like help immediately next there if somebody crashes. But in rallying we need to wait like half an hour and there is no time for that. But yeah, I'm really looking for what's going to happen for rallying.
Okay, thank you very much for the questions. We're going to have to leave the guys go now though. Guys, good luck this weekend, and thank you for all your answers. Thank you. Oh, jeez.